Friday. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Hacking Self-Storage. I'm your host, Dean Booty. So on Fridays, what we like to do is give you something to ponder about, give you something to think about for the weekend. And this is no difference, my friends. I don't know if you know or not, but I get a lot of questions asked, and sometimes I like to, mentor, maybe is a word, but I like to help people out who are stuck with certain things. And lots of new self-storage owners have been in touch because sometimes their self-storage facility isn't performing the way they want to. And it's, do you know what? Helping other people helps me. And let me explain to you, because sometimes when I'm helping other people, I'm like, no, you're doing it wrong because of this, and this. You haven't actually, you're behaving incorrectly here because of this. And all of a sudden I'm thinking, holy shit, wait a second. They're behaving incorrectly there, exactly like I am here. Why could I see that for them, but not see that for me? And that's why mentorship is so important. Sometimes we cannot see the label because we're inside the jar. It's simple as that. Sometimes we need somebody's outside perspective. So for me, mentorship is so important. I love doing it, love helping people out. And something I have realized that is crucially important that is not often spoken about is the lease-up stage. When you're in lease-up, you behave so much differently to you behave in maturity. And so I've been talking to a number of people who they're in lease-up stage and they're behaving as if they're in maturity. When you're in lease-up, you've got to scrat, you've got to hustle, you've got to get those customers in by any means possible, whether that's, and I hate the word discount. I hate the word like throwing discount out there. But when it's like me with Beverly. Beverly is now performing outdoor facility and we're performing around about 22, 23 pounds per square foot. Don't know what it is exactly, but it's performing really, really good. It's an outside facility. And I don't know many outside facilities who are getting more per square foot than we are. Was that always the case? Absolutely bloody not. When we first opened, we was getting less than £11 per square foot. Yes, that is correct. When we first opened, we was getting less than £11 per square foot. When you first open, your number one priority is occupancy. Forget about, I bang on about price conscious customers, location conscious customers, and quality conscious customers. Yes, that they are important, but not so much in lease-up stage. When you're in lease-up stage, you get every single customer coming and you want to lease up that facility as quickly as possible. You want to get money coming in as quickly as possible because you and we have bills. Even though we're in lease-up, we still have bills to pay. So what we want to do is get as much people, as much customers, as much square foot in as possible. And that's why at the minute, we're at Clough Road, we're 20% cheaper than Willoughby. But not only that are we 20% cheaper, we're also doing 8 weeks half price. Some units at Willoughby, we don't have any weeks half price. When we open Sunderland, we'll be renting our units out at less than £11 per square foot. Less than £11 per square foot. I know what you're thinking, bonkers. Absolutely correct. However, I don't care because my number one priority is cash flow. My number one priority is getting momentum. Momentum is so key for everything in life, by the way. It's not just key for business, it's key for life as well. On a Monday morning, I can tell what week I'm going to have by my first hour. If my first hour is productive, holy shit, you better watch out Monday afternoon because I'm coming for you. And if Monday afternoon is good, the rest of the week, it's a slam dunk because I've got momentum. I'm creating momentum. And so that's the same for self-storage and in lease-up. You have to create that momentum. You have to create the momentum of people coming in. And we do that by offering, by not off. If you want to ultimately get to £20 per square foot, you don't open asking for £20 per square foot. That's revenue management. That's later. That becomes when you're full, when you're a mature facility, when you've got over 80% people. At Beverly, we was £11 per square foot, and then we had everybody full. And then we started increasing prices. And then guess what? We increased insurance. And then guess what? We did it again. And then we did it again. And then we did it again. And within the space of 2 years, we went from it was 2 years. For a space of 2 years, we went from earning £66,000 with everything full to not being full and earning over £130,000 in revenue. Nothing had changed, only our revenue management. And we kept increasing current customers' prices. Yes, guess what? You will piss people off. You will have people leave. but that's part and parcel of it, because what you're doing, you're filtering people out. You're filtering out the people who are price conscious. At first, you want them. You want them people. When you're at maturity, when you're full, when you're heading towards full, you don't want them people. If a certain person isn't prepared to pay £20 a week, £20 per square foot, then guess what? Dave over there in the corner is. And so we want to get out Simon or Rick or whoever it is. We want to get them out, and we want to get Dave in. Bring in Dave. We want Dave in because he's prepared to pay £22. And so in the end, you want to be filtering these people out, and you will filter them out naturally. But at the beginning, we want to get everybody in. So how you act in lease up is completely different to how you act in maturity. And I feel as though the new people coming into this industry now, we all talk about £20 per square foot, £17 per square foot, £12, whatever it may be. We all talk about what we're getting now. But we've got to remember is that we wasn't getting that when we first opened. Stormore Willoughby was getting nowhere near the amount we're getting now. If you remember last year, we increased all prices by 20%. Why? Because it was 93% full. And so we wanted to filter out all those price conscious customers. And now we have. And do you know what difference being made? The difference has been £16,000 every single month. £16,000 a month. And yes, we've lost a little bit of customers, but we're still £16,000 a month better off. And that goes straight to the bottom line. So at first, you don't need to be worried about that. You shouldn't be worried about that. You should just be worried about getting everybody in, getting as many people on video. If you're watching this, I'm like, keep swinging my arms around. You need to get as many people in as possible, because a lot of those are going to fall through the cracks. A lot of those aren't going to be the right customers for you, but you don't know if they're the right customers at the beginning. And we aren't really bothered. All we want to do is get them in. And then once they're in, we can do our revenue management. We can start increasing the prices on the 6-month mark. And how aggressive you are depends on your occupancy. If you're 100% full at 6-month mark, fucking hell, then you're too cheap. You can increase your prices what you want. And I won't, by the way, I won't increase everybody's prices straight away. I'd do maybe a half or a third or a quarter of the customers this month and a quarter of the customers next month. So then if you are too aggressive and people start moving out, then you can stop and you can reiterate and you can improve. You don't have to just increase everybody's prices all at once. There's stages to do it. But anyway, that's a whole new podcast. And so, yeah, if depends on your occupancy, depends on how aggressive you are in your price increases. We was 90% full, so we was comfortable doing 20% increase minimum to people. Some people's prices went up double because they was brought in on a special offer, and ultimately I know somebody else is willing to spend, and if they leave, then it's fine. I can replace that customer for the cost I want rather than giving them the reduced rate. And so, yeah, the bottom line here is please remember that how you behave in lease up isn't how you behave in maturity. The price you are getting in lease up isn't the price you get in maturity, but we have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. If you're coming into the industry, you have to give people a reason to choose you. And it's hard, it's tough, it's a fight, but we've got to earn the right to do revenue management. We've got to earn the right to have that £20 per square foot or whatever price per square foot you want in the end. You've got to earn that right. And first of all, you do that by getting occupancy. And then once you've got the occupancy, then it gives you options. It gives you more opportunities, more options. And when you've got more options, then you've got more chance of success. All right, my friends, hopefully that has helped. And that's exactly what we have to do. And you know what? At Clough Road, we might have to put the prices down again, but I'm okay with that because I know at Clough Road, we will be well over £20 per square foot eventually. We're not there now. I think we're £14 per square foot or something. Let's have a look, see if I can tell you quickly. £13.91 we are at Clough Road. And am I bothered? No, because and we might have to go down again. We might have to go down to £12 or £10 or £11 per square foot. But I know when maturity comes in a year or two, then we'll have 100%, 90% full, 80% full, and then we can slowly but surely then do our revenue management over the next year, and it's another game. It's another game. The game now for me is to get occupancy. That's my game I'm in, to get occupancy. Don't really care. Well, I do care, but ultimately the bottom line is occupancy. I need to get occupancy. And then once you've won that game, then your game then after that is a new game with new rules. And your rules are your objective is to get the price per square foot. So the objective in lease up is different to the objective when you are at maturity. All right, my friends, I love doing these podcasts. Thank you very much for all the feedback. I love you. I appreciate you. And I will see you on Monday morning when we go through my week in numbers.